Now 1st and 16 from the 38. They wanted movement. And that's ruled incomplete. Cashin with a late call of an incomplete pass. Back to that for a second, Todd. Dan Reeves has been very patient with a number of players on this squad. He does not give up on his players quickly.
Well, I think one of the reasons that he's been here for a decade is not simply the fact that he's brought them 3 AFC championships, but he has a great rapport with his players. Here we'll get a chance to see that here Rufus Porter once again beats his buddy, and he gets past Bobby Humphrey, who's no match for him. Right in the back, he gets Elway. And that's something that he's got to be frustrated with. And he's telling Bobby Humphrey right now, don't let that happen again.
I don't like surprises. 2nd and 16. Moving from the 38-yard line. Elway in trouble, and down he goes. Rufus Porter again, Todd.
And Rufus Porter beat 2 people on this situation. They had both Gerald Perry and I believe it's Mobley in to try to block against him. But he was much too quick for them. Great speed at the outset. Here we'll get a chance to see, watch at the right of your screen. With great speed, you'll see Rufus Porter. There he gets past Perry, he gets past Mobley, and Elway's got no chance.
Porter has been in the Pro Bowl 2 years in a row as a special teams player. This is the first chance he's really getting to play every down.
Well, that's right, and he told us yesterday when he had a chance to talk with him, he says, look, I want to be known as a player. I don't want to be known just as a fringe player who runs under kicks. I want to be somebody that's known who plays the run and gets sacks as well, and right now he's proven himself the last 2 plays.
3 wide receivers in for the Broncos. Markers on the play.
I think Rufus got off a little too quick.
Elway is down in the end zone. Now what is the call?
He's going to call it a safety, but I think it's going to be a free play. I think that Rufus got off the mark just a little too quick, and he's going to be very disappointed in himself because this is a huge play.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see if they play it conservatively or if once again they come with a safety. They're not.
Elway. Down he goes. Now he lost the ball. Are they going to rule him down or a fumble? That's the question.
Joe Nash picked it up. Joe Nash has it. I don't know if anybody touched it. They're going to give it to Seattle.
Red Cashin has not made a call yet.
Seattle ball.
Jeff Bryant forcing the action.
Let's see what Red Cashin has to say.
The play is ruled as a fumble, but he was touched while on the ground. First down.
But either way, it's a huge play for Seattle in this situation. 3rd down, we were talking about just the fact to force him to punt. But now a big turnover for Seattle, and Tom Catlin, why does he have that grim look on his face? I'd be happy if I was him. Here you see that the left side of the field, Elway sees it's completely clear, and he's going to take off and go. But right there, he gets stripped of the ball. And Joe Nash is right in front of it to take it away from him. It's interesting because they both had their arms on it, but Nash was stronger than Elway.
But only 20 yards. Great 4-man rush again. Now here comes the blitz. And down goes Elway. Jacob Greene gets the safety. But it was Eugene Robinson coming late that messed up the play.
Now what happens is if you're an offensive coordinator, you say, okay, number 22 is assigned to John. So defensively, you switch it up and you say, let's put the other safety involved in them. You got 6 defensive backs out there. Number 22 is on the left of your screen. Now, there comes number 41 because the receiver on that side was picked up by the defensive back. So it really looks like they're going to play with 2 inside safeties, either one having Elway.
Blitz. And Elway sacked at the 50. Woods got him, but it was David Wyman coming straight up the middle that flushed him out.
Seattle making the decision. It looks like the Broncos want to throw the ball right up the middle. Dave Wyman sees the center block off. Bobby Humphries tries to step up and help, but by now John Elway's been flushed, and he's getting the corner support from Tony Woods.
3rd and 20. Elway on a planned roll. Deep over the middle, intercepted by Robinson. Eugene Robinson to the 13. There is a flag down on the play. And another fight. One of the cardinal rules is don't throw it late over the middle. He did.
Unless you're John Elway. Actually, he's got the receiver open. He just throws this ball too high.
No foul.
You'll take a look at this. With Elway rolling out, the Seattle defense, watch what these guys do over there. Even though Elway's going to roll to this side, they all sit at home. The receiver's going to go down. There's going to be a big hole in the middle. He just overthrows it. Look at the discipline on the backside. Now there's the receiver in the middle. He's open. Just makes a bad throw. And a great job going up for the ball and keeping your balance by Eugene Robinson. Vance Johnson tries to catch it. Robinson goes up, makes a great interception, and stays on his feet.
His second pick of the year in Seattle in business now. Elway one-hands the snap. Under pressure. Flag is down, so is Elway. Jacob Greene, the other defensive end, with another sack, will check the flag. They'll turn down that holding call and make Denver punt the football.
Number 76, the far side. He gets the call. See that arm outside? Boy, and he still can't hold on to Jacob Greene. Greene got held and everything else and still managed to make the play.
And Greene went for the football. Couldn't get it. Took Elway instead, so Haran will come on. Quarterback draw. First time they called it tonight. They call it on 3rd and 3, quarterback draw. Nobody bought it.
You got to figure that it's a good call because Seattle's going to be back in his zone. Here they're in man-to-man. I don't really think John gives us a chance. He doesn't allow the rush of the defensive line, so he really can't find a seam.
Second and 2, pump fake in the bomb for Young. Intercepted. Picked off by Melvin Jenkins. That was a truly great play by Melvin Jenkins. He didn't bite on the pump fake.
Seattle has outguessed Denver's offense all night. You'll see him left-hand part of your screen. There's the pump fake on the quick post, but nobody bites. I mean, he's back there. He just does a great job of outrunning Young to the ball.
Denver only has one timeout left. They can stop the clock after this play.
Had the zone all the way. Fine job. Fine job making that play.
And through almost 2.5 games, Elway's not thrown an interception this season. This time he's swept under the blitz, end him in, and then he is knocked down for the first sack of the game back at the 32-yard line, and Denver will have to punt it.
Eugene Robinson comes on the weak safety blitz. Watch left-hand side of the screen. He comes free. Nobody touches him. Good defensive call by Tom Catlin. First sack of the day for the Seahawks.
And finally, John Ritter stars in the box office hit Problem Child, the network premiere movie tonight on NBC. John Elway on the run and room to go. He loses the ball, and Seattle has it. Wooden picks it up, and he does well to hold on to it as everybody goes attacking the football. So Elway makes his only mistake of this day, losing the ball on a scramble.
He could tell it was happening. Rufus Porter was chasing him. Watch when he breaks up through here. Somehow the ball slips out of his hand. He's carrying it very carelessly there, and it gets down on his hip, and he can't. Oh, that's Jacob Greene chasing him. Ball bounces loose. That's the only way Seattle can get back in his game.
And he's got trips to the wide side of the field. Elway's hit and fumbles, loose ball. It looks like Jacob Greene's coming up with it. Big number 79 was at the bottom of the pile scrambling after it, but it was Rufus Porter, the linebacker, who got to Elway.
Rufus Porter is their version of Derek Thomas, the guy that gave Denver so much of a problem last week in Kansas City.
And the fourth-year linebacker from Southern creates the turnover.
We'll see him up at the top working against Harvey Salem, number 74. He turns the corner at about 7 yards. Incredible speed, great play. Just exactly what the Seahawks need to try to get that offense on track. You'll see Rufus just turning the corner, and then that is what separates some of the great rushers from just some fair rushers. The guys that when they turn that corner, they come around and strip that ball from the quarterback. That's what Seattle doesn't have.
First down from the 35 of the Seahawks. Elway with plenty of time going for the bundle, looking for Derek Russell. Intercepted by the cornerback, Dwayne Harper.
Unbelievable defensive cornerback play.
Well, they did a great job on the ground. Once they went to the air, though, the turnover. And that is the second turnover after 2 drives today for Elway and the offense. Seattle gets it back.
Well, you'll see Dan throw a ball that doesn't really look like a John Elway pass. That's a wobbly ball. Now, he may be having a little bit more problem with that shoulder than maybe the Broncos want to let us know. But John Elway, that wasn't his type of football that he threw there.
Doubled up constantly.
Well, you'll see the center, Karch, turn to him on the snap.
Third and better than 10. Elway flushed out of the pocket, goes down. Porter, the big play. Second sack for Rufus.
Well, Porter watched film at all this week. You know he felt like he could be successful rushing the passer on long yardage. Here you'll see 97 turn the corner, going inside Harvey Salem. That is an all-world league move. And then he gets upfield and has the speed to run down Elway after Elway has an angle to get out of the pocket. Now, that's great athletic ability. If I'd have tried to move like that a long time ago, I'd have just fell down.
Third and 3. There's the noise factor, and there goes Elway losing the ball again. I believe Seattle gets it.
Well, it looks like the official's calling Elway down. That looks like a clear fumble to me, Joe.
Yes. The referee, Stan Kemp, though, you're right, was pointing like I've got him down here before the fumble.
Well, he may be calling the in the grass rule, but I just think that looked like a fumble all the way to me. And you'll see Denver, they've rushed their punting team out to try to make sure that they don't bring the replay into play. You'll see Elway here, feeling the pressure, just trying to get up and get away. That's fumble. That's fumble. I cannot believe that.
But now, let's look at the bottom of the pile. Does it look like Porter came up with it as it's punted away by Mike Duran? In his 10th year from Arizona State, playing the injured Dave Wyman this year. Porter was trying to get to the quarterback. Elway has all day, and it's intercepted by the defensive back. Blackman, the safety, has it. Second pick of the day of a John Elway pass.
Well, all I can say is Elway is trying to force the thing because of the pressure. I mean, it's simple football. If you pressure anyone, they're going to make mistakes. Now look at Harvey Salem tackling.
That's not a hold, is it?
No, that's not holding it. I'm watching the official. He's looking at it and lets it go. Elway just saying, hey, I got to get rid of this ball. I'm going to get knocked out. Throws it back late and deep in the middle is not a good combination. You never want to throw deep and late, because there's always going to be somebody gravitated back to that middle to pick it off. This year they're +5, so they've really done a great job of avoiding that. There he comes.
There's Porter. Elway scrambling for the first down to the sideline, firing it down for the wideout in the teal. Makes the catch, but I believe he may have gone across the 29, the line of scrimmage. The flag is down. Revisited last Sunday.
Deja vu.
It was called immediately by the referee.
And I think it's a good call because, you know, a guy like Elway, he'll get out and he'll try to make something happen, and he's always trying to attack that line of scrimmage. If he doesn't have something he can throw at.
Illegal forward pass, number 7 on the offense. 5 yards, loss of down, third down.
Now the line of scrimmage was the 29, don't forget. 2nd and 6. Kennedy chases Elway out of the pocket. Elway getting out of bounds, losing yardage in the process to the 46. He loses 2. Cortez Kennedy was quite a sight trying to track down John Elway, wasn't he, Dan?
Like a dump truck rolling down a hill with no brakes. You know, Cortez splits the seam there. Hey, that was just a foul up at the offensive line. Kerr, the left guard, turned out. The center played straight. I mean, Cortez just hit the seam. No one was there to block him. Now he looks like he's got to go over the sidelines and get some more gas.
All that front four, the offensive line, first-round draft picks, Greene, Bryant, Kennedy, and Tony Woods, who came out fit as a linebacker, but a down lineman now. 3rd and long for Elway, in trouble. I can't believe he got away from that one. A flag on the play. Elway finds the sideline.
That has got to be holding on the right tackle. Jacob Greene had a sack dead to the world. Looks like Lanier just raped him down on the ground.
Elway's gassed. He's had to scramble the last 2 plays.
Well, if you had those 300-pound guys chasing you, Joel, you're going to run like a rabbit, too.
But if Elway's out of breath, how do you think Greene and some of those big ones, the loads, feel?
They're over there. It looks like Jake was about to suck the paint off the field at the 40-yard line. I mean, he's just heaving.
Jacob was down. He was bending over. He was trying to find any available oxygen.
He said, well, he's trying to talk to the official. Was probably going, ha, ha, ha. I know what it feels like, folks. It's no fun after you had the quarterback break contain a couple times. You had to track him down. I'm pretty sure it's on the right tackle, 76, Lanier.
Number 76 on the offense. Holding number 34 on the defense.
Is the referee confused, though? Hey, wait a minute, Stan, we're over here. Stan, please, we're over here. Hey, it's not a confusing situation, though.
Yeah. No, these guys, now you talk about something inconclusive. Now you'll see 76 at the middle of your screen. They're working on Jacob. Jacob will turn that corner. Well, we didn't get to see it all the way, but believe me, it was a hole. I was watching it the entire time.
3rd and 8.
Nash is fine.
Elway has it stripped away. It's picked up by the lineman. No, now it's loose and it is picked up. But he cannot advance it. It'll go back outside of the 45. He picked up the ball near the 47. They're spotting it, though, down at the 42. And it will be enough for a first down. So he was eligible to advance that fumble.
Now, I don't know how this can be. You see Porter strip the ball. Now, that's obviously a fumble. Now, an offensive lineman or anyone else, an offensive lineman cannot advance it. Now, I don't know what they're watching, 72.
And look at Elway and the offense getting to the line in a hurry so they don't review the play. 4th and a little more than 2 for Elway, and the Broncos down by 3.
Watch Elway trying to run it. There he goes.
Can he get there? I don't believe so. No, he's short. The Seahawks take over as their defense comes up big.
This is the play Elway likes. On short yardage, he'll be the man. Well, it wasn't to be there because the safeties walked up in the hole looking for it. They've used this an awful lot the last couple of weeks. Sooner or later, defenses catch on.
They seem to have made it more stringent. Now it becomes 3rd and 11. Elway throws directly into the hands of Dwayne Harper, and Harper will have it all the way back to the 30-yard line. I don't see anybody ruling that it was a trap, so he's going to get credit for the interception, and I can't imagine what was going on in John Elway's mind. The receiver turned in, and he threw out.
Once again, you see Dan Reeves losing it because he says, hey, bad call has cost us a touch. John Elway gets a little bit of a blocked view there. Looks like Arthur Marshall, the rookie receiver, broke in when Elway thought he was breaking out.
So far, the sun has not been shining for Cortez Kennedy, struggling with bruised ribs, but he is back in there to face the Bronco offense as John Elway gets him started on 1st and 10 from the 25. And there's Tez. What a player.
You know, Jim, for you folks, you know, I played a long time in the league at the same position Cortez Kennedy played. Now, let me tell you something. What you're watching is masterful. He's lined up in the gap between center and nose. Watch him get up and run by the left guard and just attack Elway before he can even get the chance to look down the field. Now, I don't know if I've seen a finer defensive play this entire season than what you just witnessed.
He's 6'3", 293, built like a sort of enlarged bowling ball. 18-0 in L.A. On first down, Elway dropping back, has time, and now is dragged down from behind by Tony Woods, defensive end from Pittsburgh. First-round draft choice back in '87, and another sack for Seattle.
Well, you know, you talk about defenses around the league, and you talk about teams that are able to put pressure on people with the front four. There, Joe Nash, the venerable veteran, still making a contribution. There, the right end. Thank you. Tony Woods comes down and tracks him down from the backside. Now, the thing is, you know, you think about Philadelphia, great front four. Well, Seattle can counter with its front four that's almost as powerful as anyone has in the entire league.
The two of them share that duty, standing next to Dan Reeves. Third down now. And Elway, with protection, throws the batted ball, and it is picked off.
Now, that could have been Cortez Kennedy or Joe Nash. We got a scuffle.
It was not Tua Tagovailoa, I am told, who tipped the football and batted it into the air. But I still don't have a call on who picked the ball off. There it is. It's Joe Cain.
Joe Cain's made a couple of big plays, forced to fumble earlier. Now picking off the ball, you know, and again, who made the play possible? The defensive front. Now to Tua Tagovailoa, he was a guy that had a good pressure right at the front on Elway. Now Elway's 6'4", a big, strong guy, but even then, if you get stopped, good defensive lineman gets those arms up, tries to knock the ball down.
I was wrong in saying Tillman had a hand on it. It was all Hunter. So the Broncos get a break as Hunter can't hold on to the interception. This time Elway throws it to the end zone, in and out of the hands of Jackson, and Brian Davis has it for the touchback interception. Another Denver scoring opportunity averted by the alert Seahawk defense.
Well, if there is any poetic justice in the fact that Brian Davis gets the interception, it's because that was a kind of a picky call on him. Here you'll see Elway just try to gun the ball into Mark Jackson running along the back of the end zone. Tell me that ball wasn't moving. It was unbelievable how fast that ball was coming to Mark Jackson. He's been trying to catch the ball from quarterbacks for the last 4 weeks that have nowhere near the arm strength. He looked like he wasn't ready for Elway's gun.
Great field position for the Broncos on their first possession. Rod Bernstein, the lone setback, as Sharp goes in motion. Elway passing on first down, deflected and intercepted. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and then Rufus Porter picked it off for the Seahawks. Intended for Reggie Johnson, batted at the line of scrimmage, and Porter picks it off.
John Elway just did not get this ball up. Couldn't tell exactly who that was that tipped the pass, but right into the arms of Rufus Porter, who made a good heads-up play. Looks like Tua Tagovailoa, the young man they picked up from the Cincinnati Bengals, did a good job getting his hands up. Almost had his first interception last week. Comes up with a big play here early today.
Blitz coming, and Elway is dumped at the 30-yard line. They were all over him that time. Coming first was Dean Wells, the rookie linebacker. Got some help, too, from Rufus Porter.
Also a safety blitz on the play. Eugene Robinson coming out of the secondary. You see Wells coming absolutely clean, and then it's Robinson from around the corner that brought the secondary pressure to put the Broncos in a field goal position now.
Low snap. Elway decks. Terry Wooden with a second Seahawks sack of the day. Bangs Elway to the turf, and he's gippy as he gets up.
Never saw him coming from behind. John Elway with his typical sprint out of the pocket. Had some receivers working down the field.
I think it might have been Michael Sinclair, too, the sack leader.
We talked to him yesterday, and Michael Sinclair is basically brought in on pass rushing downs. He replaces Jeff Bryant, and you see the speed of Sinclair as he was able to run stride for stride with John Elway.
absolutely awful throw by John Elway. He gets hammered right at the last minute, but this is a sitting duck for Eugene Robinson, who's having a Pro Bowl season. This his 7th interception of the season. Now we'll set up the Seahawks with some pretty good field position when we return.
First down at the Seattle 42-yard line. And a fumble. Ball is still loose. Elway dives underneath for it, and I think he got it.
I tell you what, that shows a lot on the part of John Elway. How many times have you seen the ball pop loose and you see a quarterback not pay attention to the play or carry out some bogus fake to the left side that doesn't mean anything? That's a heads-up play by number 7. Take a look underneath. Bernstein, that's a bad handoff by John. Maybe that was the reason. Bernstein can't recover. The ball pops out to the right of your screen. There's number 7, willing to give up his body to get the ball back. It's a play by the Stanford Giants.
Second down and 10. 25 seconds and counting. Time remaining. First quarter, no score. And we have jumping from both sides. Antonio Edward for Seattle came across, and Shannon Sharp was already deep into his pattern.
Well, this will be interesting to see what the deal is, because it appeared to me that Edwards beat Sharp off. That'll be discussed. Getting an argument from Brian. The ball starts. We've seen Brian on the offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty.
The ball starts. So it'll be 2nd and 15.
Watch the flinch here by the right tackle. Oh, just barely. Oh, man. What, these guys have bionic eyes or something? Holy cow. I was going to say, hey, it's the right side. Banks is having a hard time. Man, that's kind of close.
Broncos 3 wide receivers, Antonio Edwards, Tyron Rogers, and Michael McCreary are rushing for Seattle. And Elway is going to be sacked. Not turned to it. Tagaloa got him.
I'm not laughing.
And Elway comes up limping.
I'm not laughing at the sack, Charlie. I'm just laughing at the fact that I couldn't wait till you had to say that name. John Elway pressured up the middle, and here he comes up the middle. He runs right into Tua Tagovailoa for the sack. He limps off. We'll see how he is when we get back.
So if they get into a wild card situation, you know, where you come straight out, here's the shot. As Elway could scramble away from the rookie from Valdosta State, Antonio Edwards. What this all means is that everybody has a shot at the playoffs.
And what this means right here is not only is the defense keeping Seattle's team in the game, but the defense is keeping the crowd in the game, and the crowd is crucial.
1:44 left in the half. 6 o'clock at the Lions score. And Seattle told us yesterday when we talked with them, you've got to get pressure on Elway right up the middle. You've got to get in his face. They've been very effective at this.
They really have. They've been making him hurry. He's throwing a little bit sooner than he wants to, and right here in the middle you can see, look at Cortez Kennedy pushing 2 of the Broncos back and still getting an arm up to pat the ball down. Wow.
Second down and 10. Elway has pressure and stop.
And they get a timeout here. Take a look at Cortez Kennedy in the middle. Look at the number of people that he draws. He draws 2 people here. That means that everybody else is man for man, and that enables them to get the sack. And that's what he points out.
Gotcha.
That's exactly right.
Third down and 9. Away from the end zone. Safety. He is sacked. We're looking to see if there's a fumble at the bottom. It's a safety. Did the ball come loose and Elway recover it?
Well, look at Rusty Tillman trying to fire that. How many times do you see a coach do that? How many times do you see a coach play the role of cheerleader? The very thing he talked about was getting some pressure on Elway, and they just didn't know if they could do that with their 2 best pass rushers out. But take a look at this. They cave it in the middle. Cortez Kennedy just shoves the man down, jumps up. He's the one that beats it. You're right, the ball came loose. It wasn't. Oh, boy, I tell you what, that's impressive. Impressive, the left hand of Elway to keep that in, and Tillman's got to be excited with the way they did that.
Ever so close to a Seahawk touchdown. The fumble in the end zone, Elway is pulling it in.
And that man, Cortez Kennedy, just absolutely obliterated. They took a chance with one man over him, and they paid for it. He knocked the man down, jumps up, and as soon as he jumped up, Elway couldn't get it away. Take a look at the right of your screen, number 96, one man, and he goes, get out of the way, Brian Habib. Look at that vertical jump, and that forces him to come down, and that enables Stevens to get the safety. And right there, that was very fortunate. You can see Kurt Scrafford does a nice job of pushing the ball underneath into Elway. Otherwise, you're right, that might have been a touchdown.
Would have been a touchdown.
And here's what you think Elway should be doing, working from the shotgun. Loose ball, and Elway falls on it. He does maintain possession, but there's a loss of 6 yards on the play back to the 28-yard line. So the Bronco offense is quickly off the field. And their punter comes out, and Coach Phillips has to wonder when's this going to start to work.
Of course, Don, I would also suggest that they catch the football if they're going to go from the shotgun offense. And so we have had very short opening offensive series from both these teams.
The crowd kicks in. Elway hit hard and sacked back at the 13-yard line. Check this out, Chris.
I guarantee you Bob Spitulski is having a ball getting his hands on John Elway. I remember yesterday we were talking to Cortez Kennedy. We asked him if he'd ever sacked Elway, and he said, yeah, once, but I never got a chance to really hit him the way that I wanted to.
Combined for 239 catches from the various teams they were on, only Sharp with the Broncos. Elway is caught and sacked back at the 23-yard line. Sam Adams, the #1 draft choice.
With the mini earthquake.
And he is as quick as Cortez Kennedy, they say.
It's hard to believe, but Cortez Kennedy says he reminds me of me when I was at. Look at that, man. He just threw Brian Habib aside, almost broke his back, pushed him over, and then the shake and the bake. Yes, sir.
From the 7, second down and 6. Elway sets up at the goal line, and what an interception by Terry Wooden. Wooden inside the 20, down to the 17. A one-handed grab by Terry Wooden.
What incredible placement. Over on the left side of your screen, you're going to see tight end Jerry Evans coming down. He's about 20 yards. Wooden steps right in front and is able to pick off that ball. Great one-handed snag.
Third interception of the season for Terry Wooden. And the interception for John Elway, he's been keeping that total down, just the 7th of the season. So Seattle with excellent field position. This guy was pretty much taunting his running back. And Elway out of the shotgun, he'll go down to sack Cortez Kennedy. Just the 2nd sack of the year for the Tez.
We talked about him earlier. He's a guy, and you look at him, he's gigantic. And you don't see him as being a quick guy. He's on the center part of your screen, just like a little stutter step move on the center, arm over, and comes clean into John Elway. Great quickness, ability, flexibility. You know, to be a good pass rusher, you have to be able to fake and move. You've got to be able to twist your body.
Elway out of the shotgun, 3rd down and 10. And he'll go under again. 3rd sack of the game by Seattle, and that one comes from Sam Adams. Had his first career sack versus Denver a month ago and picks up number 2 today.
He's on the right side and looks like the clone of Cortez Kennedy, both big, strong, and burly, and pretty much doing the same moves. A little juke, a little arm over, and coming clean to John Elway. And that has been the problem for the Broncos. They are way behind in the sacks allowed and sacks taken.
Elway with a lot of time. He wanted Russell on the curl route and picked off. Orlando Waters rookie out of Arkansas with his second career interception. And Russell, Derek that is down.
Orlando Waters has had a great day being involved in just about everything. Here, very quickly reacts, steps in front of the receiver. Good reaction, good awareness.
It's been all Denver in terms of field position. On second down, Elway looks, comes out of there, and gets dumped. Number 94, Antonio Edwards, will get credit for the sack. Sam Adams, number 98, was also there. Great coverage by the Hawks.
Great coverage by the Hawks, and that's why John got sacked. He had Mike Pritchard open right over the middle for about a split second. Didn't see him there, and look, you can just see nobody to throw to. At that point, John does what he does best, trying to run.
Full blitz. Elway releases, picked off. Big play by the Seattle defense. Robert Blackman with the football, and Blackman gets it across the 35 to the 38, and that ends the Denver field goal threat. The blitz paid off for Greg McMacken.
Played off big time. John Elway just had everybody in his face and just laid the ball up in the middle. Watch, you're going to see the blitz coming here right up the middle. Linebackers, you're seeing number 21, Raphael Robinson coming in, but up in his face, and John just lofted it right up there for anybody to catch.
So they were in the dime with 6 defensive backs on the field. Robinson is the 6th defensive back. He came with the blitz and forced Elway to throw the interception into the hands of Robert Blackman, his 5th of the year. Elway and the Broncos trying to add to their already imposing lead. Blitz, Blackman, fumble, free ball, and here goes Antonio Edwards. No Bronco near him. He's going to go all the way. No flags down. This will be a Seattle touchdown.
Wow, what a hit. John Elway did not even see that one coming.
And how sturdy is Elway? He's up and walking off, apparently unfazed by this, but he got blasted.
There's Blackman right there. John looking the other way and straight in the chest. John not even sensing that coming. But like you said, the key is John got up before Blackman did. Again, John looking for the 2 receivers out in the left flat, taking a big shot. Antonio Edwards rambling.
So a sudden and significant change in the game, as what was about to be 27-3 could become instead 20-10, as the key running back in a game they must win, but he's coming through so far. Elway way downfield. Picked off by Harris. Intended receiver was number 81, Mike Pritchard, and Harris, the converted running back, who was beaten for a touchdown in the first half, makes a big play here.
Oh, that's not a usual throw for John. He looks short. I'm watching all of his underneath guys were covered man-to-man. Good coverage. John just lays it up there and lets Pritchard work for the ball, but Corey Harris in great position to get up and make the play.
Plenty of action left in the game. Elway's pass on 3rd down is picked off by Robinson. So again, the Seattle defense presents a possible big touchdown for Denver. There's a flag down as Corey Harris tries to go the rest of the distance. Harris is knocked out of bounds by number 81, Mike Pritchard. Nevertheless, the Broncos aren't out of the woods, leading 27-24. Elway is going to be dragged down by Winston Moss. And just to clarify, the game between Oakland and Pittsburgh, I'm told, is not quite over yet, but with Pittsburgh firmly in command, we brought you here as the Broncos try to continue a playoff drive.
Well, here you have Winston Moss, who they've started blitzing in the second half of this game, trying to take some chances, make some things happen, and you see here the blitz by Winston Moss, coupled with good coverage where John Elway, who normally could drop the ball off just about anybody, couldn't get rid of it.
Elway might have to look elsewhere for an opportunity. Stumbles. Goes down. Flag thrown, perhaps to indicate that Elway was down before releasing the football.
In case you're just joining us, pair of field goals following 2 long drives. We are tied at 3. Elway's going to be sacked. Michael Sinclair gets the sack.
You know, when you're talking about tank warfare, General Patton always talked about the pincher movement, coming in from the outside, being aggressive at the enemy from the front. That's exactly what the Seahawk defensive line did. They were very aggressive up front. Elway had nowhere to go. And Sinclair in the pincher movement from the outside get the sack.
Back to the 30-yard line. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14.
Been watching too much late night TV, huh?
You've got to get to bed earlier. That's all. From the shotgun. Elway is sacked again. Ball pops loose. Seattle has it. Sinclair gets him again. 2 in a row for Michael Sinclair.
Sinclair working against Broderick Thompson. And the pinchers get him again. Watch him fight. Gets the rip. Gets by. Elway very cool, very calm in the pocket. Sees he's in trouble, but it's too late. A nice stripping motion by Sinclair. Watch his right arm. He knows he's got the sack. Now he wants the ball. And he knocks that ball out of there. And wisely, Dean Wells just sort of hatches that egg and lays on it.
Elway comes out throwing, has an opening, steps into it. Now he's being chased. Flag is down, and Elway is down. Sinclair gets him on the sack. But there may have been a block from behind.
You had to hold
against the Broncos. Is it holding?
Yeah, you had a little too good a grasp of your technique by somebody up front for the Denver Broncos. But, you know, John Elway is going to start feeling like Neil O'Donnell here pretty soon if he doesn't get better protection from his offensive line.
With the sack, though, they may refuse
holding
it.
By the offense, number 66. The penalty is declined. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that hold is against Nalen working inside. And when you're holding and you're playing Seattle inside as a center, I like the odds and chances. You're working probably against the Cortez Kennedy. Look at the handful of shirt, jersey, skin, pad. He had everything.
Elway, pressure, steps away. Now he's dangerous. Now he is dropped. Whoa. Corey Harris got it.
Corey Harris, recording artist, sees himself as quite the entrepreneur and rap artist, actually. And you know what he does? He puts a little rap on John Elway. You know, closing on the ball is not always for receivers and defensive backs on a pass. Elway's got the ball. Corey Harris closes on the ball effectively. Nice tackle.
And Corey Harris's CD in the midst of the funk. And he got in the midst of Elway. And we're going to get in the midst of a commercial. The Seahawks told us he wanted to take away the run. Of course, John Elway to beat him. John kind of likes the challenge. Now he steps forward, and his pressure sacked again.
They're calling him down. That's sack number 4, Charlie.
Yeah. Is that Sinclair again?
No, you know who got him? Sam Adams.
Adams did, because Sinclair has 3 of the sacks.
Watch.
And that is the 4th.
Sam Adams. Remember he went out earlier with the bad wheel?
No, I
he
tell you
cleans
what,
up, and it was Sinclair.
That was
unbelievable.
Sinclair has all 4 sacks.
5 wide receiver formation for Elway. Pumps once and is sacked.
A hamstring.
His mobility hampered, and big Cortez Kennedy, along with Michael McCrary, able to collapse the pocket on Elway.
The empty backfield and the 5 receivers, and the last option is to run, but you're going to see Cortez Kennedy on Diaz-Infante. Actually, that's good pass protection, but you know, if John were healthy, he'd be running.
Interference. Elway scrambles. Whoa! That could have been called a fumble. They say an incomplete pass. It looked as if Elway was throwing that ball backwards.
It went sideways. He was trying to get rid of the football, avoid the sack. Good pressure up the field again by the Seattle defensive lineman.
I'll tell you what's real nice is the official made a nice catch here. Not a catch, but grabs the ball.
He's beyond the line of scrimmage. They were really deflated after last week's crushing loss to the Jets here at the Kingdome. Elway chased by Sinclair. Fumble picked up by Chad Brown.
doesn't see it. John's running to the outside. Sinclair knocks the ball out. Look at the ball. Bounces right up in Chad Brown's hands. Touchdown.
Keeps working. Chases the quarterback. Good things happen in this league when you hustle. Ball bounces up to him.
Well, Chad Brown acquired a $24 million free agent. Dennis Erickson wants a big play defender, and there's the first dividend.
Facing a 3rd and 14 at their own 26-yard line. Pressure, Elway, sacked. First sack of the game. It comes on a safety blitz from Jay Bellamy.
Jay Bellamy's the nickel back. Benny Blades, the safety, lines up at linebacker, but watch Jay Bellamy right here. How often the last 2 years have we seen this happen? A defensive back coming off a covered slot position for a sack. This offense right now is just a little bit off. You see the timing involved in this offense. It needs the rhythm, just like Seattle's, and it's not there right now.
And they're up 7-0 here. Blitz. Fumble! Elway and Nalen couldn't get together, but I think John fell on it or someone around him.
Even veterans like a John Elway and a veteran center like Nalen, you're thinking blitz. You're thinking where are they coming from. You forget about the ball. You saw that ball hit John Elway's right and left hand a little bit on the right side because Nalen was scooting out of there trying to get a block.
Blitz coming. Elway with a play fake goes right, intercepted, picked off, and here goes Darren Smith for the touchdown. That is John Elway's first interception of the season. Darren Smith, who came here as a free agent from Philadelphia, is having a sensational year.
Leading the Seahawks in tackles, came into the game with 1 interception and 5 sacks. Reading Elway perfectly, able to slough off his receiver and read the quarterback's eyes for 6 points.
Game 2 last year, he broke his thumb, so he's got unpleasant memories of this team. Here's Elway. Goes deep for McCaffrey. Way downfield, Sean Springs picks it off. In a sense, it's like a punt, but I don't think Elway will look at it that way.
Sean Springs was 15 yards off the ball in front of Ed McCaffrey. There was no play action fake. There was no stop and go. They just said, McCaffrey, run by Springs. Not in this lifetime. That just ain't going to happen.
They're blitzing again. Elway, hit, dropped. Seattle has 2 timeouts remaining. See if they choose to use one here. They do. Chad Brown, number 94, with his 3rd and a half sack of the season.
You get the Broncos in a 2-minute offense. You're going to bring Chad Brown around the outside, working against Harry Swain on the backside, giving him speed, giving him blitzes, and getting John Elway. Greg McMacken and his defense doesn't play soft, doesn't play scared. They just play aggressive. And McMacken on the sideline makes his call, watches players, and says, oh, I never had a doubt in the world.
14-10. There comes the stunts. There's a fumble by Elway, and he is sacked at the 15. That is the 2nd fumble for John Elway today. One came out of a direct snap from center. This one out of the shotgun.
Tom Nalen, one of the better centers in the NFL, just doesn't even get close to John Elway. That ball's supposed to come somewhere back around John Elway's left hip, and it gets a lot closer to Terrell Davis's left hip than it does Elway's. Now listen to this crowd.
Four-man, 5-man rush. They got Elway again.
Sinclair on the left side. Adams inside. First pressure, Sinclair. Sack, Matt LeBounty. Now this is a little bit of the old Kingdom you came to know and love.
And he goes past Jamal Anderson for the league lead in rushing. Terrell Davis wins it in 1998.
Fake handoff, play action, good block by Swain, good block by Jones. There goes Elway with time, chased by Sinclair, and down he goes. Sacked at the 37. Michael Sinclair along with Philip Daniels cave in on him.
Last week against Miami, John Elway, playing with a groin pull and a little bit of a hip flexor, which is basically the same thing, had a little trouble going to his right. This time he flushes to the right. Protection is holding up. Coverage, you hear about coverage sacks. Really, coverage sacks are more quarterbacks giving into the sack rather than throw it away. But that time, he didn't see everybody coming from all the angles. He's looking downfield, got that grip on the ball like all great quarterbacks do, so they can throw the ball late. And then, out of nowhere, there's Michael Sinclair. Boy, is he going to be fun as well.
And Rich. 1st and 10. Deep drop back by Elway. Got a good block by Swain. Now he's brought down. Philip Daniels with his second sack today. The Seahawks came in as the number 2 defense in the league in sacks. They've now got 53.
Now, this is another one of those plenty of protection throws, nothing happening downfield. Elway just runs out of time trying to buy some more time. Philip Daniels in pursuit. Now, this is a football team that is still playing hard. When you see a defensive line pursuing an elusive quarterback like Elway as long as they are, Philip Daniels, one of the stalwarts on that team. It's a credit to this Seattle team.